And the sentencing phase begins today in the trial of the man convicted in the 2018 Pittsburgh shooting at the Tree of Life synagogue. Earlier this month, the jury found Robert Bowers guilty of all 63 charges in the shooting deaths of 11 congregants and of obstructing the free exercise of religion. Now the jurors will decide if Bowers gets the death penalty or spends the rest of his life in prison. ABC News senior investigative reporter Aaron Katursky and ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer are joining me now for more on this. Aaron, I'm going to start with you. What are you watching out for as the next phase of this trial gets underway?
This is really the meat of the trial because Robert Bowers' guilt or innocence was never in doubt. The defense conceded from day one he did it. He shot those people. And really the focus of the trial was just on the horror of that one day back in October of 2018. Now we're going to get a much more complete picture at who Robert Bowers is and was at the time, his deteriorating mental health as the defense sees it, things that were going on in his life that might help explain why he did it. This is different from an insanity defense, but the defense is trying to give the jurors a reason, perhaps, to spare his life. And for prosecutors, it is going to be a brutal account for the community that they give of who the victims were, how they lived, and how they died.
And Brian, can you paint a picture for us? What exactly happens during these proceedings?
Yeah, so during the penalty phase, it's much like the guilt phase in the sense that there are opening statements. Both sides get to present evidence through witnesses, but it's much shorter and it's much more focused. What is going to happen first is the question of whether or not the shooter is eligible for the death penalty, whether those aggravating factors are there, the heinousness of the crime, the number of the victims. Then the second part is whether or not he gets life or death. And that's when we see things like victim impact statements, the family members and those who lost loved ones talking about their loss. And there, the jury will decide life or death.
Aaron, what precedent do you think that this case sets moving forward, especially with cases involving the death penalty? And
there are cases involving the death penalty potentially that are pending. And so we're wondering whether this may serve as a model as Attorney General Merrick Garland weighs decisions in, say, the Buffalo mass shooting, targeting, again, a particular group of people. In Buffalo, black people. In Pittsburgh, Jews. But we're not sure whether you can discern any particular pattern because the Attorney General has so far upheld decisions by the prior administration to seek the death penalty, but he has so far not affirmatively decided to pursue it himself during the Biden administration. So we don't know if it'll set any particular precedents, but it is once again going to raise an age-old question in this country over who decides who lives and who dies. And in this particular case, the defense offered for Robert Bowers to plead guilty, spend the rest of his life in prison, and the prosecutors wouldn't go for it. They believe that this particular crime was so heinous and so targeted against a group of people that he deserves the ultimate punishment.
A pivotal and important case indeed, Aaron. Brian, thank you guys so much for joining me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.